NFL Scouting Combine coming up March 1st to March 7th, and of the 324 participants that will be in Indianapolis Lucas Oil Stadium for the Underwear Olympics, 11 of those will be representing the University of Alabama, the Crimson Tide. Those 11 guys, you can see them right there on screen when you have names like John Mechie involved, Jameson Williams involved, Phidarian Mathis, Josh Jobe, Jalen Armour-Davis, Slade Bolden, Christopher Allen, Brian Ray, just all 11 of these names involved here in the Combine. Also Brian Robinson Jr., he is in there as well. But first and foremost here, when you look at Jameson Williams and John Mechie, if these two healthy, they will test well. They will test well. I know both are coming off of knee injuries. Jameson Williams, reports have been talking about he's ahead of schedule with his recovery. John Mechie's recovery has been going smoothly. If they're both good to go, if they're both good enough to run, because fans want to see J-Mo run this 40-yard dash. And can he do it in the 4.2s or the 4.3s? If he's able to run that 40-yard dash, and he can do that in the time that he wants to do it in, cement him as a first-round pick. The same thing for John Mechie. If he can do the 40-yard dash in the 4.3s or the 4.4s, he's cemented as a late first, early second-round pick. But to me, I feel like they'll do the events they can do. Whatever they want to say to Pro Day, they'll do that. They'll probably take part in a whole bunch of team interviews and team meetings and things of that nature. But if they're healthy enough to run, because people want to see both of these two run, if they're good enough to run, they both will test well. But that's just Mechie and Jameson Williams. When I look at Chris Allen and LeBron Ray, this is a combine for these two to show the injuries are behind them. LeBron Ray, injuries took him. I mean, he came in 2017 out of Madison, Alabama, as a five-star athlete, five-star defensive end. There was so much hope. There was so much promise. There was so much high expectation, but unfortunately, just could never truly stay healthy, with the exception of 1 year, his sophomore season in 2018. And then for Chris Allen, battled injuries as well, had a foot issue the first part of this season during the game against Miami, and didn't play the rest of the year. So for these two, are the injuries, can this be a combine where the injuries are behind them? They go out there, they compete well, they test well, they perform well, and they put themselves in a situation where they do have a suitable draft stock to go to make a team and have a good pro career wherever they end up at. When you discuss guys like Josh Jobe and Jalen Armour-Davis, I mean, these two just holding their own in terms of corners. There's a lot of defensive backs in this draft. So for Josh Jobe and J.A.D., can these two hold their own, not only in the 40-yard dash, but in the on-field drills? Can they hold their own where that is concerned and test well in that event there? And then, of course, you look at Brian Robinson. For me, where B-Rob is concerned, we talked about this, can he place in the top 5 in terms of running backs? He had a good week of Senior Bowl practice. He didn't do much in the Senior Bowl game, but didn't really feature him much in the Senior Bowl game. But during the week of practice was the top running back for the American team. So he goes to Indy, performs well in that combine, is in the top 5 running backs. So that's going to be really huge there for Brian Robinson. And then when I look at Slade Bolden, Slade's going to have to impress some people. Going to have to impress some guys. We know he's not going to be a burner in the 40. Slade's going to probably go 4-5, 4-6s, slot possession type guy. But in the on-field drills and in the team meetings, can he just impress people with his knowledge, with his ability to know plays, understand plays, pick up plays, things of that nature, and in the on-field drills, hold his own in that regard. So those are just a few guys that I'm looking forward to watching here in this combine. Now, I'm looking forward to watching all of the guys in the combine, seeing them all do well and all perform well in front of scouts, evaluators, coaches, general managers, owners, because everybody is going to be at Lucas Oil watching this. But Those just a few guys that I'm pulling out of the fray here.